Hey, Smith Wesson. Wait for a couple more people to get in here and we'll go from there. Hey, Mickey. Thank you, Mickey. Have a great night, hon. Hey, Grumpy. Hey, FLP. Hey, bud. What are you doing? Just wants to come over and say hi. Hey, buddy. Oh, boy. But I think I'm going to start this off with something I seen floating around in the side chat tonight. Hey, Frank. No, bud. Put the footy down. 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 Hey, Eliza. Hey, Nina. Some people are talking about secret codes, like old stuff, hobo code. I brought up treasure hunting codes that the Spaniards used to use. That and the quilts from the Civil War. Just something to keep in mind, anyway. Um, Even as funny as this may sound, there are actually some video games. I know this may sound weird, but there's some video games that use symbols like that in the game. But there's something else you could incorporate. Someone sees like a picture, they're not going to exactly know what it is. A word can sometimes be deciphered one or the other, but if you put a picture out there, especially if it's not exactly of anything that's really in the area, just means something. It's only going to mean something to somebody who knows what it actually means. Okay, I know that sounds kind of weird the way I said that, but somebody just comes floating across it, that doesn't know what it means, it's going to mean nothing to them. Nothing. But if somebody comes across that and knows what that represents, it could be a water source nearby. There's a cache here. Um, go so far to the west, go so far to the north. You'll find this, that, or the other thing there. It could come in handy. Just something else to think about. I mean, we're talking about. We were talking. Hang on here. There we go. But we're talking about old school ways of communication. That was another thing. Not really during the Civil War, but with the Underground Railroad, with how they communicated with that wasn't by paper, wasn't by spoken word as much. This with quilts. I need to see if I could find a book. There's a group up around here called the Sons and Daughters of the Civil War, and I'm pretty sure it did FLP. I mean, let's put it this way: with what I'm talking about right now, I kind of got my gears turning in what I know. You've never poked me in the eye. I've poked myself in the eye many times, but you never poked me in the eye, so we're good. But if you looked at the quilt, the way you read the quilt and what each block represented, and a lot of those blocks, all it looks like is a geometric pattern. A lot of those blocks actually wasn't just a word; it was almost a paragraph. It told a lot of people from the Underground Railroad, where's a safe house, where it isn't a safe house, where they can find a boat, where they can find food, where they can find water, where they can rest. Hobo code's another one. In fact, I still have. Hey, Rosanna. Yeah, any code like that is good to know. Like I was good. I was actually going to start looking back into treasure code, because a lot of these symbols, there's a slight difference. There's like a lot of them look the same, but there's a slight difference, and with that slight difference, that makes all the difference. That makes that symbol mean something completely different than what the other ones stand for. Hey, Christy. Hey, Backwoods. What's up, buddy? But that, as I said, just something to think about. Um, Either that or your communications. If you do communicate on paper, commu- you could have an encryption on paper, or that's another thing. You could do an encryption, even though they're good, can be broken sooner or later. You can give it a try, Jay. Why do you think I referenced Little Orphan Annie? Of course, the Little Orphan Annie decoder ring to decode my actual writing got lost, and that was the last one. So I don't even know what I'm saying half the time. So, drink more Ovaltine. It's a freaking commercial. Hey, Ox. Actually, that's the one I want to look for. I've actually wanted to get Code Breaker, just never got around to getting it yet. Oh, there's another one I was thinking about too. A little bit more recent. It'll come to me. It's been a long day. I've been up since about 3:30, and I think as soon as my after show's over, I'm just going right to bed. Never had Ovaltine. Don't think I ever want it. But some of the other things that they're talking about is I eventually I have a 40 channel CB with the uppers and lowers. I do believe it has a scan on it, and it does have the automatic emergency channel. So, like if I hit the button for the channels, if I press that button, it will automatically go to channel 9. That's the channel that the state police still um, watch. But I mean, a good 40 channel. Oh yeah, I remember Tang. A good 40 channel CB, at least a 40 channel CB, is not a bad thing to have, especially like I drive for a living. And the best channel I could tell you to monitor, there's going to be a hell of a lot of chatter on it. But the best channel I could tell you people to monitor if you're running a 40 channel CB is monitor 19. There's going to be a ton of chatter on it, and there may be a lot of useless chatter, but there's also going to be they're going to be talking back and forth about road conditions, what's closed, what's open, what's going on. Actually, Frank, so do I. As funny as that may sound. Or C. Oh, I'm just talking about CBs, not Tang. Tang was a little bit before my time. Not much, but a little bit. But yes, 40 channel CB. I eventually want to get a mobile scanner and a mobile two-way radio for now, so I can run all three at one shot, and each one's gonna be used for a separate purpose. Probably the two-way and a scanner's being used in conjunction with each other. The CB's just for running up and down the road. See, I wasn't here for the Atlas Shrugged reference. I had Zeus out, and as soon as I got back, I just went straight over to the other page and set up this. Yeah, like another thing FLP was saying tonight when it comes to communications, if you could get done without getting the messenger code, a runner is a great way to go. A runner, a piece of paper, and read it. Soon as the person's done reading it, throw it in the fire. Leave no paper trail. Hey, how you doing, Will? Yeah, Will. Just to let you know right now, if you are going to have an after show after mine, I'm probably not going to be in because I'm probably going to be lights out by that time. So there's another thing. We're talking about scanners. If you're at home, um, somewhere along the because I can't dig in and get it now, but somewhere along the line, I think I gave it to Prepper X, or I posted it in one of his chats before. There's a website that you can get in and listen to the scanner on your computer. You can like go in. You don't need to know the channel numbers or anything. You can go in, click the state, click the county you want to listen in on, and it'll give you all your 911 everything. So, and for a couple of things that happened around here, for me, it came in very useful. Unless it's encrypted, and once it goes encrypted, you won't hear it on here like what Backwoods is talking about. But it's better than nothing. And if it's in an emergency, not a crime so much. If it's an emergency, like you got flooding, tornadoes coming, whatever, most of that information will come through on that scanner somewhere on that scanner website. I know I've used it a couple times around here. Let's listen to Beaver County. Um, the last time we had some flooding around here, just to keep an ear on what's going on. Like where I'm at, if I get flooded, we're all in trouble, folks. That's how high we are up on the hill. But I have some friends who live down in the low-lying areas, so it's kind of keeping an ear on that, seeing if I had to go bail somebody out. So, oh, I know backwoods, but it's one of those things. It's just another tool in the toolbox until you can no longer use that tool. Then you have to rely on something else. But I mean, if you're at home and everything's still running hunky dory, let's put it this way: I wouldn't say use that scanner in SHTF situation. No way, no how. Um, but in like a weather emergency situation where you're pretty much at home trying to figure out what you should do or what everybody else is doing, it's not. It's actually it works pretty good for that. Yeah, see, I am gonna get one of MSDR dongles here pretty soon too. Probably after Christmas. Um, let's see, it's actually over my Internet Explorer side, so just bear with me. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. But yeah, I'm over in Internet Explorer now, so and I have about a billion and ten, about a billion and ten different um, bookmarks over here. Oh, here we go. But there you go. That's oh, anytime, Christy. Yeah, like long term goals. I do want to get a ham radio and a ham license, but right now I got some other things I need to deal with that are a little bit easier to deal with. Um, I kind of been taking some inventory here, and what I've been doing is a lot of stuff I've been getting. I've been kind of willy nilly, like I'll be like on in this subset, they'll be down here in this subset, they'll be way up here in this subset someplace. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write everything down I need in their subsets and work on one subset at a time until I get that filled, go to the next one, get that filled, go to the next one, instead of kind of bouncing around. Oh, anytime, Eliza. But it's that's an interesting website. I mean, if you don't have a scanner, that's an interesting website. I eventually do want to get a scanner. That's a possibility, but I think a lot of those frequencies are still in use somewhere. But I won't be the one to talk to you about that. Backwoods may know something about that. Ah, okay. And see, the worst part about it is no, I take that back. I wasn't, yeah, it was a radio. Now I think about it. I actually passed up on one of those things. Vietnam era, I think it was a Vietnam era field radio that kind of had the handset, kind of looked like the old phone handset on it, had the battery in it, it looked like it was in an ammo can. I actually passed up on one of those things. I kind of feel stupid for doing it now. Oops. Well, if I'm lucky, he'll show back up at the Portersville Steam Show again. I've seen it in the flea market. Whether it worked or not, I don't know. In fact, it looked like it'd been sitting outside for about 3 years with the lid open on it. So I'm looking at it like, it'd be a neat piece to have, but I figured that. But as I said, I think at the time it wasn't exactly in the greatest of shape, and it looked like it's seen the weather quite a bit. So it's like one of those things. It's like I don't really want to get it if I don't think it's going to work. Now, even if it didn't work, I kind of feel stupid for not getting it. So live and learn, I guess. Which reminds me, I need to go talk to Wayne the next time I see him and see if he still has those still in the box Vietnam era gas masks. Not exactly the best gas mask in the world, but the price was right on them. So because I don't see him selling those things on a portal. No, I may still get one if either that or I may if that one's probably going to come back to Portugal because everybody's kind of looking to pass on that thing. So I may just still get it unless. But the only person I probably would snag that thing up is somebody that actually would create like a Vietnam era encampment someplace. That's the only type of person, and we have not quite Vietnam era. We have a lot of World War One, World War Two, and Korean War reenactors around here. I didn't think we did till I went up to Jeep Fest, and they had like about an acre to themselves. I was like, holy cow! Okay, well, we'll do backwoods. And actually, I don't even think the seal was in. The one I was looking at, I didn't even see a seal in it. I'm just trying to remember who was selling it. There's one guy that was selling a bunch of like army surplus stuff there, or I should say military surplus stuff there, like used uniform shirts, and some of the prices he wanted for some of this stuff was just outrageous, absolutely outrageous. I mean, he wanted um, what was it? I think $80 for a shirt, a regular field shirt. Was it fatigue shirt? Not dress blues, like a fatigue shirt. He wanted $8 for one of those things. I'm like, have you lost your mind? Exactly, Jay. Took me a little bit to get that Smith and Wesson, but that's good. Oh, okay. I thought you're talking about the radio. On that radio, the seal was gone. In fact, where the seal was sitting, where that on that radio was rusted. Yeah, the masks are still in the box, still in the package in the box. So, oh, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I keep on telling my cousins that too, but they insist that the little dust mask will do the trick. I'm like, you go through a lot more of those than you would one gas mask with a canister. Yeah, because I have to go look at them again. The last time I was looking at these things was at the summer show because I didn't go in the trading post at the fall show, and that was like August. So I just remember they're in a box, whether they're in a bag or mylar. I remember seeing something. I can't remember exactly what they were. Exactly, Eliza. An Eva suit. There you go. Yeah, the only problem with the Eva suit, actually, one of the many problems with the Eva suit is once you put it on, how fast, if you have to, are you going to be able to run? With that Eva suit on, you're going to look like the kid from A Christmas Carol. I can't put my arms down. Kind of waddling out to the car. Somebody has to stand outside the door and keep kicking it to the end to get to the door. Once you get in the car, how are you going to keep yourself cool? Because you can't exactly hook up the AC to the Eva suit. Well, you could if you got real creative, but it's going to make driving a car you're going to be shuffling, but by the time you get to where you're going, you'll lose about 100 pounds through sweat. You better put a drain in the bottom of one of them boots. I'm kind of, well, talking about wearing stuff though. I'm kind of looking forward to tomorrow. It'll be the first time I put my insulated snake boots on this year. I don't wear them during the summer, even though they're thin. I don't wear them over the summer because my feet would just cook in them. Even in the snow, my feet get a little bit too hot. But okay, you do know those lunar rovers only had about a 10-mile range, right? Hey, no problem, Pepper X. I hope they feel better. Have a good night, buddy. It's bad when you read a comment and it conjures up one video in your mind, but when you read a comment and it conjures up two different videos in your mind, that's funny. Talking about one of those big balls you get and you roll down the hill. I was watching a video, and what these people were doing is it's kind of like this channel. It's like a big Marvel channel. And there's a bunch of people in the channel, and they give them about a 10-second head start. Then somebody gets in the ball, then they release the ball, and the ball chases them all down, and they try to race the ball down before they get run over. That's just the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what it was, Jay, but it was hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. Anytime I see a bunch of people running from something a hell of a lot bigger than they are, willingly, not because it's dangerous, because they think it's fun, hey, I'm down to watch it. I need a good laugh. And then the screaming, the screaming gummy bear part. Yeah, that's just another video I've seen on here from Robot Chicken. I'll just leave it at that. It's demented. Night, dogs. Leaving too, Nina. Night, hon. Practicing for going to Jurassic Park. Yeah, the other thing they were talking about tonight was vehicles. Yeah, me and Backwoods talked about this a couple, two, three times, but depending on when SHTF actually happens, if I'm in the work truck, and depending on what time of day it is, if it's at the end of the day and the only thing I have is empty totes, they're all getting kicked out the back. I don't care. Maybe I may keep a stack or two, maybe a stack, maybe two stacks, but the rest of everything's getting kicked out the back. Now, if it's early in the day, like really early in the day, I may be making a stop in calorie before I go any further. And the other nice thing about it is a straight truck. There's no trailer on it, and even with everybody with one person's entire prep deal, I could probably throw everything in that truck and still won't overload it. Depending on who it is, too. Well, if I go and they have about 8 pallets of ammunition, we may have a problem. No, it's a big white truck, but it doesn't say FedEx on it. Has more room than a FedEx truck, though. A lot more room. Backwoods, those are trucks I drive. We'll just leave it at that. Has a 16 foot by 8 foot by 8 foot box on the back of it. The bad part about that type of truck, the type of truck I drive, is it's not a walkthrough. I have to get out, go to the back of the truck to get in the back. I can't just come out of the cab into the box. It's not even close to being set up like that. The tactical lawnmower, don't laugh. Those lawn, those little garden tractors. Well, that's the whole thing, backwoods. You don't have one of those now. If SHTF happens while I'm at work, I'll have one. Neither Smith and Wesson. That I will not say what I deliver, but I do not deliver either one of those. Oh, there you go. And I'm sure you should be able to get that up to the BOL too. No problem. That's one thing I like about my little truck. That little thing I drive, which I could probably fit about three of them on that 53, two of them on that 53-foot trailer, is that those little Isuzus are billy goats. I don't really want to say it's a secret, but I'd rather not say just for the security of myself and my fellow drivers. Let's put it that way. No, I'm not going to. Yeah, like I know some of the places I had that truck though, like out in the middle of the woods. I didn't believe it, but I got out in the middle of the woods, and sure enough, I had to stop there after about 20 miles of dirt roads. They made the roads up around my uncle's camp up in the mountains look flat and straight. Truck drove right up it, drove right back down it. Not an issue. There's a possibility. Actually, I want to look at the tanks as much as a track troop carrier. Um, I forget what's. I seen one of those track troop carriers on like one or two different surplus sites. Those things you're not going to buy an Abrams or a World War II tank, but one of them track troop carriers with no armament in it. I've seen a couple of those actually for sale. The people who use those are like these people doing the pipelines and stuff because they can go just about anywhere. Yeah, that's the other problem. That's what I'm saying. Saying the troop carrier may not have the armament, but the one thing it has, even though it's tracked, the one thing it has over the tank, it has a hell of a lot more speed, especially the older stuff. Unless you're looking at a Scorpion tank, then yeah, but you have to go to Britain to get one of those. And Scorpion tanks are one of the only tanks I've ever seen go airborne by about 3 feet. Those things are just nuts. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, you can probably find one of those. You can probably still find a Goonie bird over there. What was that? C-47 Skytrain. There you go, Jay. Yeah, in fact, one of the displays, talking about armament displays, one of the displays I see not only didn't have cement in the barrel, but the whole firing mechanism was removed and replaced with, it looks like the firing mechanism, but it's just one solid hunk of machined metal. That's it. SR-71 Blackbird wouldn't be bad, but there's nowhere to store stuff in it. That's a good point. Or if you have the right tank sitting out in front of it, if it's the right tank and the tracks are high enough and they don't get out of the way. Oh, if you got rid of the back seater, you have about enough room for about two backpacks if you're lucky. They were pretty much jammed in there. Now, if you want something that goes that fast, just be careful with it because there's only one left. Wright Patterson Air Force Base also has an XB-70 Valkyrie that moves almost as fast as the Blackbird. The Blackbird can fly at 3.08 Mach. That thing hit 3.0 Mach even. So, plus there is room in the back of that thing. There's some room where you can put stuff. Yeah, that XB-70 Valkyrie ain't no slouch, but as I said, you got to be careful. There's only one. You're not going to go find spare parts for it. Exactly, Jay. Just hope the doors hold. Yeah, because see, no, my luck, I would do something like that, and I'd be flying at Mach 3, trying to get away from SHTF. Then all of a sudden it stops, and we're back to normalcy like that. When the bomb bay doors open, and I have to explain to the person when I get on the ground how my backpack moving at Mach 3 killed somebody on the ground 2,000 miles away from where I stole the plane at. See, that's what I'm thinking too, because the published specs are 3.08 Mach. Well, you got to be moving at about Mach 3. Well, see that the official record from New York to Los Angeles, I think it's like an hour and 15 minutes. Now, I read the book from the SR 71 pilots. When they did the official flight there, they kind of had to make some detours and stuff to keep the sonic boom from overpopulation centers. Before, they would go balls out from New York to Los Angeles in a straight line before people started really complaining, trying to figure out where these sonic booms are coming from. They're doing that in just under 45 minutes. Oh yeah, that the only problem is the X-15 is kind of like a short burst type of deal. Where the SR-71, as long as you can keep fuel at it, it would just keep trucking along. The other thing about the SR-71 Blackbird, though, don't try climbing, descending, or banking at over 7 degrees because it will stall on you. Well, see, the Blackbird could go pretty high, but I still think the height record is still held by the U2 because I think the U2 is damn near 100,000 feet. Blackbird, I think, got to about 85 to 90,000. Still had about another 2 miles to catch up with the U2. The only problem with the U2 is the U2, if you put U2 into a turn, if you turn it too tight, the inside wingtip will start vibrating from subsonic. The outside wingtip will start vibrating from, well, the inside wingtip would have to be subsonic buffering. The outside wingtip will be supersonic buffering at the same time. And I think the U2s can only go about 400 to 450 miles an hour. That's about it. They were not supersonic. But with the height that they flew, not too much could reach it. I think the Russians just flat got lucky when they shot Gary Powers out of the sky. I mean, they flat got lucky. I think they just kind of pointed a missile in general direction through a Hail Mary, and it actually worked. See, that's something I'm going to experience. Well, I have experienced just supersonic. No, I should say almost supersonic at the Pittsburgh Air Show. They're not allowed to go supersonic, so they're going just right at the barrier, but not quite cracking it. That's not Black Bird. That's Black Knight, and it has a Arctic orbit. Yeah, the Black Knight. Nobody knows where it came from. Um, I wrote a little bit about that. Nobody knows where it came from. It's not transmitting anything. It's just floating there. Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's an iteration of the Aurora project, which, talking about that, I think that is where they actually took off from. I think. Don't quote me on that. But talking about all this stealth aircraft, I want to see if I still have the book here. Give me 1 second. If you want to read a good book, read the book Skunk Works from Ben R. Rich. Ben R. Rich is who took over the Skunk Works after Kelly Johnson retired. It's an awesome book. Absolutely awesome book. Especially we're talking about the stealth fighters. And they're just like one general just was joking around, says, how big of a BB would it actually be if I actually bounced the radar off it? They didn't know. So they went to the radar range, fired the radar at it. He come walking back with the BB, oh, about yo big around, about half the size of a marble rolled across his desk because there's your airplane. But it's a very, very interesting book. Exactly, Jay. TR3B. That's what I have to look up. I've never heard that before. Kidnap people from national parks. Might have to put that to the test because I'm thinking about visiting a national park here in Pennsylvania. Don't know if anybody ever disappeared in it, but but yeah, nothing's ever going to happen to me. I'm not that important. Now, I don't think anybody ever tried to kidnap me. In fact, they'll like look at me like, dude, you ugly. Here's a hostage. Just stay away from us. We'll give you hostages. Stay away from us, please. No, so I'm actually to the point like I know I'm not ugly, but I mean, seriously, come on, folks. Like, why would you kidnap you? Really? No. Well, if I was going to get abducted by anything, I'd probably get abducted by the adolescent aliens with their probe. That'd be my luck. Which brings me to this. You ever notice that? You ever notice that the aliens, I don't think any of the quote aliens, UFOs, are actually adults. I think they're all kids. It's kind of like it, we went through when we were kids. You start driving, and the first thing your parents will say is, "Stay away from that area there." So, where's the first place you drove to? You joyrided there. You parked there. You drank beer there. You parked there, which is what they're doing here. And some of the stuff they do, they mutilate cows and they stick things up people's butts. That's adolescent stuff. They're all kids. Meanwhile, their parents are, stay away from that planet. They got disease. Just don't go there. Don't go there to where they go. That and you ever hear about the quote, swarms of UFOs coming out of the ocean? A boat's going by, they think it's the police, and it's like they're actually having like illegal UFO races down there. They just scatter like Fast and Furious. Exactly. They're marking their turf. This is our turf. You can't come on it. And you go look over the next field the next night. There's another symbol over there from somebody else. Like, no, 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 no. It's ours now. You had your mark there last night. Our mark's there now. We claimed it. We claimed it better than you claimed it. So it's ours. And that's my comedy for tonight. Oh, that way. Well, a friend of mine was. I'm on Facebook too, and she posted this picture, and we've never talked to an alien yet. We're sending them nudes already. So what do you think the aliens are thinking? This is. I'll tell you exactly what the aliens are thinking. This the primates are sending us porn again. You did what, Junior? You wrecked a saucer at. Oh no! Really? Are there a bunch of guys running around in green? They're already. Oh no! You're on your own, Junior. Can't do nothing for you. Have a nice life at the Air Force Base. Bye. Click. Oh man, but and what do aliens think of us? They're like looking down, like, okay, half of them are trying to destroy each other, and the other half is watching Pornhub. This world makes no sense. No sense at all. Grumpy, this is what happens when I've been up for almost 20 hours now. You see, I've heard Smith and Wesson. I've heard those. I've heard those wood knocks before, though. I've been in the woods, and on the one hillside, it wasn't like one knock and a reply. It sounded like up on top of the hill, there's about five people building a house. Except where I was hunting at, not hunting, but where I was hiking at, there is no houses being built for 10 miles around me. So I'm like, Actually, the aliens would be like, they got nukes, minor threat, if one at all. We can outrun them. We can outdodge them. And we can disable them at will. Huh. Oh, I get you there. I mean, aliens, I have a little bit of a hard. This may sound funny. Aliens, I have a hard time with, to a point. I'm not saying there isn't other life out there, but what they would see in us and why they'd come here, I have no idea. Sasquatch, on the other hand, I've experienced some things that I can't quite explain away to myself. So, in the wood knocking, it's just the latest one of those. But yeah, we're hitting the top of the hour here, and you can tell by my psychobabble at this point that I'm probably about ready just to fall over and start sleeping. So I better get my promos out the way than call it the night. But I was away from the chat. Did FLP say he's doing anything on? I know unless something starts going sideways. But he's not having one this Sunday, is he? Because if not, Backwoods at 8 o'clock Eastern has a chat on Prepper X. He'll probably have Timo. I don't know if I'll be in this one or not. I'm not sure. Then Tuesday night at 8 o'clock is me. Then on my channel. Then on Wednesday, 7 o'clock Central Louisiana time, is Nina on Southern Arc Homestead on her own channel. Then at 8:30 Central Louisiana time or 9:30 Eastern is going to be the Honey Badger chat on Prepper X. Then you can't forget about Thursday night. You've got Spicy, which is now back at 6 o'clock Central Louisiana time or 7 o'clock Eastern. Spicy on his channel. He just has a great talk. He just goes in there as a free form, free for all. Just have fun with it. Then, of course, you guys know Friday night tonight we had at 8 o'clock Eastern we had the main chat with FLP and the panel after show, which is just ending right now. So, but that's all I got for you tonight. And you all have a great night. I love you all and thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Good night, everybody. There it is.